Hi, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Alix, and I am the Director of Operations here at A New Earth Movement, and also one of the main apprentices for Nina Palmieri with A New Earth Movement and all the different legacies that it entails. And today we want to talk a little bit about our mentorship program, which is a really exciting program that was launched in 2020 and is now really the launching of a school through a New Earth Movement. So hi, Nina. Thanks for being with me today.
Hi, Alex. Thank you so much for having me. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. And I wanted to start with having you share a little bit about a New Earth Movement mentorship program and also sort of the inspiration behind it.
Great. Yeah, thank you so much. It's a really exciting program that we started in 2020. And really there was an impetus to create this program from years and years of my own training, and then also bringing the teachings to the world, bringing spiritual counseling, bringing an opportunity to help people to gain awareness, all of that together in my own experience, and also with a lot of people that were coming to me for private sessions or for joining my classes. People just started really opening up to wanting to learn more about self-study and also about how to bring this to the world. And I would say another thing was that I was at a point in my life where I was bringing a lot of the spiritual counseling, which I did for a long time, maybe a decade, at the point where I started wanting to give back, and all these sessions were building up, and I realized that I couldn't really, I didn't have the time to just do one-on-one all the time with all the other things that we have going with the movement. So somehow creatively, I thought, there's a need for this, there's a desire, and I want to reach as many people as possible. So in my experience, I was a school teacher before. Many of you have heard that story. And there was one point when I was getting a little stale, and I knew I needed to go out into the world and do something different. And I always heard I was going to come back and teach in a different way. And that was like an initiation for me, where I dove into a mystery school and transformed, and then brought this service to the world. And then here I am, full circle, bringing education to the world in a different way. So I'm teaching and training others how to mentor themselves, and also how to mentor others, because we know that we can't be really a good mentor to someone else until we have really healed our own psyche and moved out of the way. Then we're able to really offer a clear reflection and be a really good guide to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's been as being a part of the mentorship program that got launched last year. It really is amazing to watch how the tools that you've learned and the evolutionary journey that you've walked on has really birthed this revolutionary way of knowing how to mentor ourselves first, and then also how to bring those steps out to the world. And I'm curious to speak a little bit about this mentorship program that we just birthed this year in 2020, what you've seen from the mentors thus far, and kind of where you see this mentorship program going for us as a community and beyond.
Yeah, great question. Well, for one thing, it's been like pleasantly more than I ever could have imagined in just launching this and bringing this inspiration to help others to mentor themselves and others. I am seeing like really a community of aware people who are doing the depth of the self-study that is necessary, and in doing that, they're shifting their own perception, and they're able to open up to a whole nother realm of possibilities of how they can bring this to the world. I see it in the way that they're doing their their study on the portal. We have a live portal where they're giving reflections, and then also in their sharing in the classes, and all of the information that is coming through. They're very this group of individuals is very advanced, I would say, and really a lot of them have been studying and doing a lot of the foundational work before they even came to this platform. And I would say the group of people that came into this school this year, that they were really, they were ready to go to this next level. And another thing that stands out when I'm talking about this is that, you know, everybody is in need of some sort of a reflection or counseling or some sort of a way in which they can get themselves out of a rut and get on right track with the right perception to be kind to themselves, to heal a pattern, really to find liberation and freedom. And the way that this offering, these techniques that come through the mentorship program are very different than traditional counseling. And there's a way in which the mentor that's coming through this program becomes really empowered to understand the psyche, to understand how to shift out of an old way of maybe over processing and like activating their wounds that oftentimes happens in a traditional way of counseling, where this is a little bit, like you said, it's revolutionary. It's a way in which we can have a shift of the way that we're looking at ourselves, a shift of the way that we're looking at an external experience and see it for the potential of personal growth, and to leap through that to be a bridge into the truth of your own empowerment and authenticity. And in doing that, the individuals that come through, they're able to, as they do this with themselves, able to help guide other people. So for me, I'm witnessing that it's really happening. It's really working in the way that the students are responding, and the way in which they are showing up. It's really evident that there's a huge blossoming of awareness and empowerment and techniques to take to the world.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would say for sure, even from my own personal experience, that I've witnessed that this like unfolding of my own process and seeing the way that my mind works and the stories and how these approaches and these methods give me an opportunity to work with my own things that I'm working with and carrying in a different way. And I'm seeing how quick I can get to the truth of something and dislodge these stories. And it seems like you said, these more traditional methods that we're used to, there is a process of re-engaging the story over and over, which can and does help people. But this method that we're learning in this mentorship program is really getting right to the root of something. And it's really powerful to watch it for myself. And then also how I'm becoming more aware of being able to see that in someone else, and then now learning how to speak to it and help someone else. And I think that brings me to my next question, which I wanted to ask you, is that, you know, we've just gone through Mentorship 1. There are over 20 people in this program, and we all went through Mentorship 1 together. And then the second portion of this program, the Advanced Mentorship Program, is kind of the final step in this group of the program, this like bundle of the program. And so, and I guess why I'm bringing that up is also because in this second step of the program, we're going deeper into this method of mentorship, and also being asked to start having a practicum to work with other people. And I'm wondering if you can speak to Mentorship 1, how it then segues into the Advanced Mentorship Program as sort of a whole school of beginning this mentorship program.
Yeah, and thank you for your feedback on how it's impacted you. That's something I was going to ask you, even just working with you for so long. Like my observation of you is that you are learning how to really trust yourself more, and able to look into something and see it, a little bit differently than before, and get to the root, as you said. And it makes me think about how many times when we show up in these classes, the consistent feedback is, wow, I didn't see that coming. Or like, wow, that took us somewhere that was a little bit unexpected. And that's why it's, been coined spiritual counseling from where I come from, because we obliterate the illusion and get into the root, the core pattern that causes the illusion of separation. And by doing that and reflecting that, we help somebody to become more empowered and give them a practice of how they can take back their power and trust themselves and really dial into their own intuition. So thank you for articulating it that way. And I see that unanimously with everybody that showed up. And I will say that everybody did the work. They're really engaging and really heartfeltly desiring to grow in this way. So those are good ingredients. As far as the school goes, this year-long school, I've realized it's a mystery school. When we started to launch this, it's like this information is being passed down, verbally, like without there being a written curriculum. And it's an oral tradition. And there's spontaneous awakenings and clarities and reflections that come in a very potent way. And with the whole school, it really began with the introduction to mentorship, where there was a 4-class series where we really did a lot in 4 classes. It was just like, it was able to really gather and cultivate the group of people that were ready. And then we went into the introduction where there were, there's a class, the way that it's set up, where there's audio teachings, and there's a portal for exercises and homework. And then there's a 2-hour practicum every bi-weekly where we get to apply these things, and where I get to show up, or where Nancy, who's also assisting in this program, where we get to help mentor you as you're mentoring. So you get to see, you get to have an experience, and then you get feedback all in front of the screen together as a group, which really accelerates the training and the experience. And I want to say there were 2 study groups in between before we even have gotten to the mentorship 2, which really, that's the foundation of this school, is really shifting your perspective of the way that you've learned how to be conditioned and lost touch with the truth. And we used the 4 agreements, and we used the voice of knowledge, which is really the study of the psyche of the mind. And so there's the crew members and some of the people that have been in this program for a long time led the study groups. And from the feedback that I received, it's really accelerated and enhanced the teachings. So now we went through that whole portal, and we're ready for the advanced program, where there'll be more practicum, there'll be more experience of myself and Nancy showing up and giving feedback as others are mentoring others in front of the group. And there'll be continued teachings based on where the group's level is, and how to go into some of these practical responses of these situations that people come to us with mentorship. And one of the things that's really fun and exciting is that each mentor who's going through this program, the advanced program, part of the curriculum is for them to acquire 20 hours of coaching, of mentoring somebody else, and really putting these things into practice and journaling. And there's kind of a format that we have to formalize the session, and then for us to give feedback. So that brings us to this moment. The experience, putting this all into experience now is the next level, understanding that they're ready to do this, and that we're here to give feedback and bring all that to the class also. So yeah, there's over 20 people in the program that are looking to go out there in the world and put this into application and get 20 hours. So I'm really excited about that. And I would love to take a moment to offer this to our community, because we have like over 2,000 people on our mailing list. And I think whether it's one of the 2,000 that needs mentorship or they know somebody else in their family, this is a beautiful opportunity to bring this gift and bring the students who have been doing amazing work out to the world to give an offering and example of what we're doing in our program.
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it is really an exciting moment to do this. And we have, as you said, Nina, this, in order to go into this next advanced mentorship program, everyone is offering 1 hour sessions, mentorship program, mentorship sessions through the program to the community, or to really anyone that is in need. And so you're welcome to reach out to us if you're wanting to work with one of our mentors, or if you know someone who does. We are all in need of practicum hours, and we can help you find the right mentor to work with. And so this is really an exciting moment because we're getting to put the tools into practice. And as we go into this advanced mentorship program, and I'm wondering, Nina, in terms of this program, we did launch it in 2020. We're going into the second part of the program. Where do you see this program going? Because we've talked about it really being a school that is being launched through a New Earth movement. So I'm wondering to hear a little bit about how you see it growing, and if people want to get involved in the future, how they might do that.
Yeah. As I said before too, I really see what my experience is of having the reflection of the participants evolving with amazing awareness and tools. And from the stories of their experience, getting a greater understanding of how, first of all, everybody is different in the way that they can bring this mentorship to the world. There's people that are working in the nursing industry, people who are artists, people who actually want to bring this into your astrology work, like you, Alix. Everybody has a different domain of their path where they are kind of, where it's shaping and creating a form in which they can bring this mentorship to the world. And I love that. It's like, it's a way in which we could bring mentorship and add it and enhance our own practice. So I want to say that to begin with, it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a psychologist or officially going through the traditional schooling of a counselor. There are some people on this program that there is one that went through, was a school counselor, I believe, or a psychologist. So you can have that too, and then expand your practice. So how I see it is for the world to go through this program to enhance their own skills of knowing how to mentor themselves, how to gain awareness, how to learn how to transform without standing in the way of their transformation, and how to access their intuition and truth and guide themselves and others into their power, empowerment, and their authenticity. So I see this growing. I see it as an opportunity that anybody who is welcome, any career path, who feels a resonance with this. Because if you think about it, wherever you are in your world, very organically, there are people, if we have gone down this path of awakening, even just a little bit, usually people come and they want to understand it. So this is giving tools to enhance that ability to help and serve others. So I see it as a way in which we can grow a school, like a formalized school, where people can learn these tools, unlearn the old ways that stand in the way of their freedom, and bring this to the world. So ultimately it's to help others. And we will be offering the program again after we complete this second advanced. It's the completion of the school, and there'll be other opportunities, I'm sure, that will be birthed as a result. There has been through the spiritual counseling group, where people who wanted to go deeper, offering that as part. It's like a bonus for people that want to do that through the mentorship, where we go even deeper. There's a small group where I do spiritual counseling sessions for a panel of 6 people, and everybody has the opportunity to receive a session live, very vulnerable, very courageous, and then they get to kind of have a practice, each one of them, but everybody they're gaining the tools of what it is that I'm bringing, but also having a healing. So that's another thing that was birthed through this mentorship. And I see more being birthed through it. As I said, there's some that have gone through this portal, that have gone through the teachings, like yourself, Alix, and a really good size handful of people who have really went through all these classes and power journeys and have accelerated. And I see as the completion of the school an opportunity for us as a movement to offer mentorship through some of your services as we grow as a movement. So I think there's countless opportunity that will come from this. I think many people's careers will be enhanced. I'm already hearing that. One in particular, a nurse, she keeps telling me like how much mentorship is playing a role when people come in to have some sort of a procedure or an appointment, that there's so much more that she's bringing. And then to be able to add that as in conjunction to her nursing practice. So that's how I see it, a way to bring this to the world and enhance your career already, or even to cultivate a new path for yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. I was really thinking about something you'd said earlier, how this really is a mystery school, because it's like you don't know exactly, where it's going to lead you, what it's going to look like. There's not a specific objective, but you know that you're going through your own mentorship and your own healing in the process. You're learning all these tools, and then it applies to really anything that we do, even if it's included in really being a mentor for other people as a result. In any which way that you look at it, it really unfolds that way. And the amount of self-growth that I've witnessed in myself and in the other participants is really profound. And also just to really have you and Nancy there guiding, having done this yourselves for so many years as students and then as spiritual counselors and mentors in your own right. It's really a gift to have guides such as yourselves to kind of walk us down this path that we've all said yes to. It's really an amazing opportunity.
Yeah, thank you, Alix. It's a great opportunity for me to launch this school and to create something that's formalized, and yet create the space for individuals to come through and to connect in with their empowerment and to bring that to the world. So there is an objective, but it's not in the old way where it's such a formalized one. That the objective is for us to gain our awareness, to learn how to mentor ourselves and mentor others, and find freedom and liberation, but without the constructs of it having to be a certain way. There's a freedom to expand your inherent gifts and bring that to the world in a time where it is so necessary. So yeah, thank you, Alix.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you, Nina. It's really an honor to sit and talk with you about this amazing school that is we're watching being birthed in front of our eyes through a New Earth movement, and how it's really influencing the people who are walking through, including myself. So I'm very grateful. And as we said before, one of the things that is happening currently with this mentorship program is that as we're moving into our advanced mentorship program, all of the people who are going into the second part of this program are asked to do 20 hours of practicum, where they have a formalized session with people for 1 hour. And so each of these 20 people, 20 or so that are going into it, have 20 hours of practicum to do. And if you feel inclined, please reach out to us. We can put you in touch with these mentors to receive a session as part of their practicum. And of course, if you're interested in continuing or joining in this mentorship program with us, continue to stay tuned with our emails. And as we grow and have our next mentorship offerings, you'll obviously get an email about it. So before we close, Nina, is there anything more that you want to say?
Well, I'm grateful for this opportunity. I'm very inspired, and it's been something that has been like a burning in my heart to bring to the world. And what I'm seeing is way beyond what I could imagine. I was just kind of reflecting when you were speaking about how many of the participants are coming back and sharing about what's happening as they mentor others or as they're stalking and mentoring themselves. It's very profound and deep and very supported by Nancy and myself. There's a really a strong container to help with this this training and this transformation. And then the other thing that I was just thinking about is that if you're sparked by this, for one, please reach out to get a session, because you'll get a chance to receive a blessing and some guidance in your life. And then if you have a spark that is like, oh, I want to see what this school is all about, we do have our Introduction to Mentorship series, which you can sign up for even if we're not starting a new program yet, because it'll give you an idea of what we're doing. And you could see if that's something that resonates with you and that will help you in your life. Because even going through that series, there's so many teachings that came through in those 4 classes. That in itself is a self-study that you could really spread out and put some of those things into practice and start to prep for when we open up our new program, our next program.
Amazing. Well, thank you everyone for joining us. You can find out more about us and also access that Intro to Mentorship class at anewearthmovement.org. And if you'd like to reach out to us directly, you can email us at anewearthmovement@gmail.com. So thank you again, everyone, and we will see you again, I'm sure, soon. Take care for now.
Thank you.